Yeah, I wanted to make this video really quick. Right now it's like 4 o'clock in the morning. About to head to the gym, but I couldn't get this I couldn't get this situation out of my head, and it was bothering me, and I just wanted to share it because I don't know, I know that a lot of people are struggling with this, and I know that I struggled with this, and I just want to share this message to let people know, like there is hope. And what I mean by that is a Saturday, I took my son to the bookstore, and my son's Joseph's like 10 years old, and when we're sitting there, I told him, I said, man, I said, you know what I wish that I had when I was young? And he's like, what is it, Dad? And I said, man, I wish someone would have brought me to the bookstore and just introduced me to books and said, hey, son, like, everything you want to know in life is in books, And so I told him, I said, you know what, I want you to make me a promise. I said, I want you to, just make it a point to try to read a book a month, just I want you to always be consistently reading something and educating yourself. And so he picked up some books on anatomy, and he's like into the body, and but as me and him were talking, and we're looking at books in the anatomy, and philosophy, and economics, and we were like in some, I was looking into some heavy subjects, and but as we were like walking around talking, I noticed this guy kept following me, and I knew, and I don't like judge people. I don't like straight up like just judge people, but I knew that he wasn't, like, he didn't feel comfortable in that bookstore. Because I was looking at economics, and like he was looking at economics, but he didn't really even know what he was looking at. He was just like looking to see what I was looking at. And so I looked at him. I said, "Hey, man," I said, what are you buying? Like, what are you looking for? And he's like, "Man, I wanna get my GED." And he's like, "Man, I want to say the dude was like about maybe 30, maybe. He was an older Hispanic dude, and I guess he was drawn to me because of my tattoos, and if you go to a bookstore, you don't really see a lot of people with tattoos everywhere, so maybe he just felt drawn to me, I know he wasn't gonna ask the guy that worked there for help, because that guy was in like he was like in a suede blazer, with a tie, with a vest, and with like slacks on, and like he was all suited up, right? Maybe like a professor. And so I was like, man. So I said, what's going on, dude? Like, he's like, man, I dropped out of school, and I had this job opportunity, man, and I didn't get it because I didn't have my GED. He's like, so I want to buy a book on how to get my GED. And I said, I said, what do you currently do? He's like, well, I work. I think he was like carpentry or something. Uh, he did like work with his hands. He was a laborer guy. And I said, well, I can just tell you by this short conversation, uh, you're very like a visual, hands-on learner, And I said, I bet you, like, if, let's say for example, you're gonna put something together, I said you don't read the instructions, like you just start putting it together, like you want to learn by actually putting it together. And he's like, yeah, man, that's right. Like, he's like, I just like to just work with my hands. And I said, well, you know what? Like, you're gonna have a lot of problems reading because you're trying to just throw something that you're not really too familiar with, because you haven't read probably since you were elementary, and now you just want to start reading like you think you can just pick it up. I said, you gotta like slowly ease your way into it. And he's like, oh man, I never thought about that. And I said, man, you should really consider, starting with audiobooks and maybe videos. And so he was like just kind of in shock, because he was like, you know what, I do learn fast when I watch stuff. And I said, you have to understand your learning style before you start to jump into something, because you're gonna get disappointed because you're not learning it by reading it, because you don't understand it, you don't know how to comprehend it. I said, you know what? I said, just start off, man, with videos and maybe get a tutor. And I said, but you got to make sure you pay for the tutor. And he's like, why do I got to pay for a tutor? I said, because your mind is focused on making money. All you want to do is make money. So if you pay for a tutor with your money, it's going to make you listen because you paid him. Because you value money more than anything. I said, that's just the way, people that are not, that don't understand how knowledge will help you, they put too much value on money. So whatever you value the most, use that to leverage to get knowledge from people. He's like, oh man, dude. And I guess what was kind of crazy is because I saw myself. I remember going to the bookstore for the first time. I didn't know what the hell I was looking for. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I knew that if I educated myself, I seeked mentors, and I listened. Like, I listened to my mentors and my teachers. I knew that if I just did that, it'll change my life. And so, like, I want that guy to know that don't give up. Don't give up. Or if you feel like you're not where you want to be, like, don't give up. If I was able to, like, if I was able to go into that bookstore or seek knowledge or educate myself, I mean, I lost my dad when I was like 3 years old. We moved to a big city. I didn't know anybody. I grew up, labeled as a problem child with the learning ability. My mom, was a single mom that worked at Walmart. She still works at Walmart. You know, we didn't grow up like, shack poor. Like, we didn't live in a shack. My mom made sure she worked her ass off to make sure that we had what we had. But like any other kid, I didn't appreciate nothing. I didn't appreciate what she did. I had twin boys when I was 16. Dropped out of school in 9th grade. And I got put in this work program. I never went to school. And they said that I was eligible to graduate. I never went to school. That was a bogus plan they had. You know what I mean? I couldn't find a job. I didn't have no skills. I worked myself, out of one, relationship, with my kid's mom. I worked myself to death. I lost, I lost connections with everything because I just didn't know what I was doing. I slept in my cars, don't give up, man. Don't give up. So my wish is for everybody to share this video, because I want everybody that needs it to receive it. Everybody that needs, to hear hey, there's hope. There's hope. Believe there's hope. Your life can change. You can change your kid's life, your kid's life. It's possible. So to the guy that was in the bookstore that I didn't get his number, I didn't even get his name. Don't give up, brother, man. Don't give up. Don't give up, man. I hope this message reaches you. I hope this message reaches someone that needs this message. Because this is real. This is real. This is real me. This is real words. This is real meaning. So, thank you.